Hey y'all, hey, what's good? This is your girl Kamika from the desk of the therapist. Super excited about my special guest today. So without further ado, I'm going to allow him to introduce himself to the people.
Hey y'all, what's good? This is Zickey Self.
The legend. You come with the legend.
That's folktale. That's folktale.
But no, I want to thank you, first of all, for coming on the podcast and blessing the people. I felt like I had to have you on the show for a couple of different reasons, but the primary reason we're here today is because you are an amazing father. Mm-hmm. And when I watch you, I've seen you with your children, and it's something amazing. And I just think about the impact in children's lives when they have a strong father figure who's present and attentive and supportive. And so I wanted to bring you on today so we can speak to that, so you can, shed some light, because I know even as an educator working with the kids in the school, there's opportunities where if they had a strong parent or a strong father figure in their lives, it would look different. So what is it how did you, tell me a little bit about your background? Like, what got you in this space to be so present for your children?
I've always been, I'm the oldest child on both my mother and my father's side of the family tree. So I've always been in a babysitting position, looking out for my little siblings, younger siblings, but I was a young dad. I was a dad at 18. And I always said that if I had a little girl first, that I would be done with having kids. I had a little boy first, and then I had a little girl. So then I had the best of both worlds. And it's just nothing like being a parent, especially it wasn't planned, but I had to do what I had to do. And it's been the proudest moment of my life, just to be there, to be supportive of young lives, and just that love that they give, when they know that dad's going to be there, or dad loves them unconditionally, no matter what, no judgment. I grew up with them. They're not only my kids, but they're friends in a sense. You're ride or die people.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So spend a little bit of time, because I see you got your pen on. So representing for your son there, talk to me about your kids.
Like I said, I was a young father. I grew up with them. I've seen them grow into the young men and women that they are. Mm-hmm. Just morals and values, just the same things that I was brought up with. They were less hard, tough lessons that didn't come from my parents that I seen, and I didn't want to have my kids go through that, or feel that, or have to experience some of those things. Unfortunately, I lost my son in 2017 tragically to gun violence, and you always prepare to try to keep your kids safe from all the dangers and unexpectancies of the world, and it's nothing like that shock value. I haven't been the same since, but it's changed me for the better. Having a younger child after my older three kids were born, it gave me a different perspective and outlook on how I used to be dad to how I've become dad now.
Yeah.
And it's impacted my relationship with all three of my children. So I always would be there supporting whatever it is that they choose to do. I have a daughter who is now 27. She just had a birthday, March the 30th. She is a dental assistant. She's still striving. She wants to be a dental hygienist, just supporting them in any kind of way. I have a young son at the age of 9. Mason, he loves to play baseball. We want him to be football player, this football player, that, but he found his niche in baseball. So, it's just find a way to support him. I have a son that's 23. Zamora, he's a I guess you can say computer whiz, tech, genius, like, but anything that they choose to do, I would always be there for them, you know, and not just in career-wise, it's like, you know, emotionally, you know what I'm saying, mentally, like, you know, advice, conversations, time spent supporting them, and whatever it is that they choose to do, like, I feel like that's where I get my strength from, you know what I mean? I'm delighted to do that.
Absolutely.
It's not a burden, you know, so, yeah. I just love them. I can't help that, you know, but those are the people who I know that every morning I wake up, they're going to be there, you know what I'm saying? So I look forward to that every day.
That's awesome. So is there any things, like specific things you want to cover? Because I think about your daughter and dating, right? And of course, as a father, you're the example of how a young lady should be treated. And so walk me through that a little bit. Like, you know, what age does that start and what does that look like?
I remember telling my daughter that boys were gross, nasty, and I didn't want her involved with the boys, and she knew it. Like, she would always say, no, I ain't got no boyfriend, can't have no boyfriend, my dad's not having it. Then after so long, like, you know, she began to grow and develop and come into her own, and there was nothing that I could do about it. You know, she wasn't the, what do you call it, rebellious one, you know. She listened. So I trusted that she was choosing a suitable companion, one that she could bring home and, you know, present to me, and I'd be proud of her and her choices. Wasn't always right, trial and error, but she's there now, I feel. I think she's got the perfect candidate. You know, one day they'll soon be married. I'm ready for grandchildren, so hopefully, you know what I mean, she finds the time in her career to bless me with one of those right now. But yeah, like I don't expect my son Zamori to be trying to have no babies right now. He's not that he's selfish, but he's still trying to find himself a little bit. And of course, I got a long time before Mason decides to, you know, try to talk about dad. I'm with child now or whatever, but yeah, I'm not really looking forward to that for the youngest two, but my baby and her, you know what I'm saying, boyfriend, yeah. That'll be something for me, like, you know what I'm saying, I've reached a certain level. I've lived a good life so far for me. Like, I feel like I've created a lot of opportunity for myself. I didn't have a lot of support, you know what I'm saying, from a parenting, like, you know, perspective. Like, yeah, strictly got it out the mud, and I'm just trying to give it back to my children in any way that I can. Like I said, any way that they need me, I just plan on being there. I don't have a no in me as of yet when it comes to them.
Yeah. So does a conversation with your daughter, you know, because I'm a daddy's girl, bona fide, certified daddy's girl. Does the conversation look different with your daughter than it does with your boys? Or are they similar in some regard when we talk about values, morals, life goals, aspirations?
Knowing their worth. As long as they know their worth, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, the trial and error is up to them. I can't, like, stop them from life lessons. And if they choose to go with what's in their heart, and I feel like they're not being forced to do or make life-changing decisions, like, you know, it should be accommodating and complementary to where you want to see yourself or grow. And if not, then of course there's a conversation that we have to have depending on what they look like or what they bring to me. But I'm not telling them that you got to bring me a certain, I mean, of course we don't want our kids to be with unsuitable, you know, I guess you could say mates or whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend, all that. But you never judge a person by where they are, you know. Conversation can tell you a lot about a person, and everybody deserves a chance. But knowing what you know, like I said, if you know your worth, and I always speak to them about that, like, you know what you like, who you are, and be true to that, and accept whatever comes along with your choice. So then that way you're not so angry, or, you know what I'm saying, you can at least take a form of accountability and be like, you know, I learned my lesson. I'm not going to do that this way again. Yeah, because it's not easy. And right now, today's society, I don't see a lot being offered. You know, there's not a lot of young people who really know their worth right now. Lives, the way that lives are being taken or being lost in today's society, it's tough. You know, it's tough. They're all seem to be influenced easily by things that have no value.
Yeah.
And that's hard because it's not many people their age who still have those same values that we grew up with, and you know, honor code, a system, you know, that you like, you know, you don't see yourself with somebody better than that. Like,
just go for anything.
yeah, it's like if he's popular enough, then he's cool for it right now. And no, that's not it. You know.
Yeah.
And I don't want my sons to be interested in, you know, women who are quick to flash. They don't have a lot of self-respect for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, want more. That's all I'm saying. Like, want more than what's being presented.
I can see that. So you mentioned consistency. You know, you mentioned accountability, structure. How important is that for a father, you know, raising children?
It's very important. I mean, you have to be the example. And like I said, I'm not self-proclaimed legendary. It's mythical, you know what I mean? But everything that feels good to you is not good for you. But as a parent, we have to allow our kids to have room to grow.
Yeah.
And right now, all they know is what feels good to them. And as a parent, like I said, just leading by example, making sure that I'm not contradictory of the things that I advise them. You know, I don't want to tell them no just to satisfy me.
Right.
It's always some form of guidance, you know, in place. And I think that's where the love and respect comes in. My kids haven't been tyrants or just, you know what I'm saying, just bad kids overall. They listen well, you know, but like I said, kids are going to be kids. They're going to be influenced by certain things and peers. And so far, I think they've done well. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know I give you kudos and shout outs, you know, for the relationships that you have with your children, which are, in my opinion, are admirable. You know, so, hey, it's not easy, but being consistent and being present makes the difference. Yeah. I asked you to come with affirmations today. And so I'm going to ask you to take a moment now and to share your affirmations in that camera.
Okay. Well, I am that I am. And with that, I believe that I can be anything that I put my mind to. I desire to just be someone who is helpful, considerate, polite. I'm a good friend. I'm a good dad. I'm a good listener. But overall, I'm me. I'm happy with me. I'm glad to be me. There's nothing that moves me like just being able to have the next day to be as great as I was the day before, if not better. So, yeah, I am.
Awesome. I like it. I like it a lot. Do me one more favor.
Yes, ma'am.
And for that parent out there who is just trying to raise their children, they're doing the very best that they can, uncertain about whether they're doing it right or wrong, will you take a moment and just encourage that father or that mother for just a moment?
Have no remorse for the love that you have for your children. If you feel it's right, it's the best that you have to offer them, continue to be consistent and give that to them. Do not try to be a copycat type of parent. Don't think that what's other kids are receiving is best for your children, because only you know what's best for your children. Like, what goes on in your household is not the same thing that goes on in other households. Just keep your kids close and always just give up the real, for real. And I think that'll take you and your kids' relationship a lot further than what you expected. And it's okay to just be that listening ear. Do not always try to coerce your children to just do what you want them to do. Give them a chance to figure out who they are and be supportive of that. And I think that they will look to you in a way that, you never thought to come. I have a very trusting relationship with my children, and I get that from just being honest with them. Yeah, I don't hide who I am in no kind of way. I'm still dad though. And I think being straight up with them earns the respect that keeps me cool. I don't stress about the type of dad that I've been, because I know that there's still room for improvement, and that's my approach every day with everything. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with me on the podcast. It's been my pleasure.
Yes, ma'am.
But I want to tell y'all, stay encouraged. There's no handbook on parenting. Be present for your children. Listen to your children. Love on your children. I want you all to stay encouraged and be blessed. And until next time, I love you. Let's get it. Let's grow. Hey.